I am live and greetings to everyone who's about to come on. This is going to be a very exciting show tonight. We're talking about Freemasonry, the revolution, or might I say, the revolution of Freemasonry. And some of you, when you hear this particular topic, you're going to want to know what is he talking about? The revolution of Freemasonry. And I'm going to go somewhere tonight where I've been before, but however, with some additions. And so, as you begin to come on tonight, I definitely want you to enjoy yourself, sending greetings and blessings to you and your family. It is indeed an honor to be part of such a great society of Freemasons. So, definitely, we're going to have a real interesting conversation. If you want to call in tonight, if you want to do that and have this conversation tonight, you can call in tonight to 619. That's going to be 286-0642. If you want to call in tonight, you certainly are welcome to do so. So we're gonna. This is the tonight. I'm just saying. I'm gonna give you that number again if you want to call in. Um, Remarkable ability typo. Okay. I'm just reading something else. Definitely. That number is going to be again 619 286 0642. If you want to call in tonight, you're certainly welcome to do so. And we're going to have this conversation in regards to Freemasons, the revolution, or may I say the revolution of Freemasonry, because Freemasonry is changing right before our very eyes. It is completely crossing all borders and jurisdictions. You can say whatever you want to say in regards to the sovereignty of your jurisdiction, regarding who you have amity with, and all. You can say all of that. But I'm telling you, from what I personally know in my own conversation with various Masons from across various jurisdictions, that border that you think that you have, that's coming down. Freemasonry is changing. It is no longer going to be just at your lodge in that building that you have. Freemasonry is going to go online, and it is going to change, and it's happening before our very eyes. When I say Freemasonry is going to go online, some of you already know that the Grand Lodge of England has an online Masonic lodge. They have that. My lodge also has an online Masonic lodge. We have that, but that's for our members only. But it's moving beyond that. It's moving to a place to where those who wish to be Masons in various parts of the world, who desires to be Masons, they're going to get it online. They're going to become Masons online because of the boundaries that the internet has just totally torn down. And some of you may say, well, they won't get the real true meaning. They won't get that hands-on uh, aspect of Freemasonry. But that's okay. I mean, really, that's going to be okay because with the new technology that is coming out, as far as with the I can't think of the name of it right now, the holograms that you're going to actually have in your home, to where it would actually put you in a place to where they're actually having a lodge meeting. Man, this thing here is about to really take off. And Freemasonry is going to have to move right along with it or get left behind. Plain and simple. If you're expecting to grow your organization, you might as well get on this thing right now, because it is totally changing. It is. And my jurisdiction, I can only speak for my jurisdiction. We have decided, look, this thing is getting ready to take off. For those brothers who are into the technology part of being able to go online and develop different things, do that. You do that part, brothers, and it's changing. I'm just here to let you know this. But on top of that, there are some unique things that are going to just stay the same. There are some things in Freemason you're not going to be able to just bypass. Some jurisdiction may do it, some may not. But there's just some things you're going to have to just get with, in order to have that personal thing. Who is the latest? Yes, yes, that's right, Brother Vincent. You're absolutely correct. So when I say the revolution of Freemasonry, first and foremost, The revolution that everybody talk about that won't be televised is going to take place here. This is the first place the revolution takes place. And when you understand that, what's going to happen is then all of the things that you thought you knew, that you thought that you was right on point with, that's going to change, because information, as we know, is just continually pouring out and coming out. And you're going to have to decipher, and you're going to have to go in and dig and bring out the truth of the information that's coming forth. Because in every lie, there's some truth. So you're going to have to dig deep and go down those rabbit holes and be able to find the truth where you're at in order to understand the revolution of Freemason that is taking place. You're going to have to do that. And I'll tell you what, one of my great writers, Manly P. Hall, I love to read his stuff. When I have the opportunity to listen to some of his stuff online, he was way before his time. A lot of us already know that. He was way before his time. And there were others, but he stands out. And I'm using him tonight to let you know that even when Manly P. Hall was giving his lectures, and before he was giving them to Masons, he was giving this stuff free. You can go and do your research. He was giving this stuff free, okay? And in the process, when they made him an honorary degree Mason, and that's what he was never initiated, he was an honorary degree Mason, they pulled him from society and placed him within the Masonic institution, and you really never heard him lecture publicly anymore. It was all for the Masons. Go back and do your research on it, and you will see, he was like, wow, it is true. But you must understand that Masonry in itself is beginning to evolve and change. All right. There are some out there who refuse. I mean, they just going to be, I ain't budging. And that's okay. That's really okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. But what's going to happen to those who don't move is that you're going to find yourself in a position of being left behind and not being able to catch up. You know, a lot of us, I'm going to say this, and it's going to hurt some feelings. A lot of us are waiting for a lot of our older members to die off. Am I lying? Be honest. A lot of us are waiting for our older members to die off because they're in seats and stations and positions to where you can't grow. And that's the honest truth. You can say whatever you want to say and say, Brother Hawkins, Brother Tony Muhammad, that's harsh, man, but that's truth. Truth is harsh at times, and love does hurt. It's what it is. You're waiting for them to move forward and to have that transition in their life so that those who are now coming behind them can flourish, can really begin to see Masonry for what it is, and to really watch Masonry change, because there are some brothers across all jurisdictional boundaries cannot wait to see Masonry actually function the way it should function without borders. Because with our bylaws and constitution tells you you can't go here and you can't go there, you're really missing the true essence of Masonry. But in order to have that revolution, it takes place here. In order to have that revolution, it takes place here. Someone is going to have to come along to point you in a direction to where you're going to have to be able to see Masonry for what it is and what it is not. You're going to have to see it for the beauty that it possesses and the lies that it doesn't, because many of us have heard that, oh, you can travel wherever you want to go. You become a Mason. You can go to this lodge, that lodge. And we know that all jurisdictions have those borders up. And if you're not accepted or recognized by some of these jurisdictions, they're not going to let you fellowship with them. And that in itself, to me, I mean, like I always say, I'll go where I'm accepted and respected and not tolerated. I'll always go there. You know, accepted and respected is the most important thing as a Mason. Wherever you go, that it brings that essence of what Masonry is supposed to be. It brings it out. So when you go and visit these various lodges and places, and you see the change that is beginning to take place, that's what Masonry is. Masonry is progressive. It is not going to stay the same old way. If people didn't like you then, they're not going to like you now. But that doesn't stop masonry from changing. It doesn't. And for those of you who are stuck in that position and say, well, I'm not moving, you're going to get left behind. Brothers of the craft and sisters of the order are going to wait till you just transition on out the way. So someone with a progressive mindset, someone who sees masonry in its entirety, in the love that they have for the organization, and watch it grow, just like a flower, just like a rose that is closed up, and then when the sun hits it, it opens up, and you can see all of the petals of the rose. A rose by any other color is still a rose. And this is the same thing that goes for Freemasonry. Check it out. I'm just saying, go and watch and see and see what's happening right now. And I can say for my own jurisdiction, 2022 that's coming up, man, it's going to explode. The things that we have set forth for this jurisdiction for which I'm in is going to happen. And I, some people say you shouldn't tell your business. I'm just telling you that for this jurisdiction, things are about to really, really change. And I'm proud to be in a position to sit back and watch it happen. As a past Grand Master in this jurisdiction, to watch the leadership that comes up and move this organization forward is beautiful. Because you know that your hard work that you put in was not in vain. So you're watching a revolution take place right before your very eyes. And some of us don't want to see it. Some of us want to stay where we're at, and you can't change. You can't phantom. Somebody asked me not long ago, what if your jurisdiction in Prince Hall decided to have recognition? How would you feel about that? I wouldn't feel no way about that. My stance are what they are in regards to the relationship that may or may not happen, and the same goes for the Grand Lodges of State. I can care less because I know how some of them feel. And if some of them feel that way, most of them feel that way. That's me. But it may not be that way for some. So I can't put everybody in a box. What I have to do is grow. I have to grow. I can't always be that same guy I was 2 or 3 years ago. And for those who say, well, I remember when, that's great. You remember when, but what about now? And this is where the revolution takes place within you as a Mason, not only as a Mason, but a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. This is where you begin to flourish and grow by changing, by watching things develop and then getting in and participating. It is not for me as a past Grand Master to sit back and just watch. No, I want to be involved with the change. I want to be involved with the revolution that is taking place. I want to be part of it. I want to say when it's all said and done and this life is over, that I took place in something that was changing and happening within Freemasonry. That's what I want to, that's where I want to be at. I don't want to be, well, this guy never changed. This guy was always stuck here. This guy couldn't, you know what? No. It's progressive. It's forever changing. The way Freemason was when I came in, it's not like that no more. That's part of the revolution. That's part of the change. And for some of you who've come into this organization, you're young, you're fresh, you're enthused, you're full of zeal, please be cautious, in your travels. Be cautious. And I say that not as in don't talk to nobody, but watch that person in your lodge. Watch them and see, are they true to who they say they are? And if they are, that's the one you go be with. That's the one you learn from. Okay? If a person is being true to who they are and they're showing you, that's who you go, that's who you go hang out with. Because they are legitimate who they say they are. They are just as authentic as they, this is what you see is what you get. And they're not trying to change to please anybody, but they're growing in their change. They don't mind a young brother coming in and taking a seat and being able to put together plans for growth. They don't mind that. That's the revolution of your lodge. That's the revolution of your jurisdiction. And this is how you grow. This is how you are able to really shape and form that jurisdiction. The way this jurisdiction was when I first came into this organization, it's not that way anymore. It's not that the way we open up is not the way I opened up when I first came in. It's not, man, it has changed maybe 2 or 3 times. You know, there's been some things added, some things taken out to bring in a different spirituality to Freemasons. I mean, because there was my Grand Lodge, my wish from my Grandmaster, who was a minister at one time. He was a minister. He wasn't changing, not at all. He was like Bible bound. That was it. But then, I had a Grandmaster who came in and said, "Okay, let's put the Quran on the Bible on the altar." That's a change. That's the beginning of something different that I hadn't seen before. So he said, "Okay, we're going to put it on there." Then the next Grandmaster came in and said, "You know what? If the way we're going to open is going to be more spiritual." Okay. Some lodges open with old school hymns, black hymns. You know what I'm talking about. And then there are some that don't open with hymns at all. There are some lodges, and I can speak specifically of my own, on a whole nother level when we open up. It is. It's more spiritual. Once I had seen the sisters of the Freemasons and how they did that opening, publicly open, it changed my whole mindset. It did. About 2 years ago, I had gone to watch the Grand Lodge, the female Grand Lodge of California, have their inaugural ceremonies and their public installation of officers. That whole thing, as you've heard me mention before, was totally spiritual. It was deep, and it was serious. I mean, those sisters were serious about the work. Not only was I there as a visitor, there were members from the Grand Lodge of California that was there. There was members from the public who was there watching this great event unfold before their very eyes. And it was done in a Masonic hall that worked under the Grand Lodge of California. That's the truth. And to see this happen, I'm like, wow. And then to come back and share this with my jurisdiction, my lodge, they was like, oh, we got to switch up. So you bring in the incense, you bring in the different types of meditation and music into your lodge to raise the energy. You bring in that stuff, but if you don't, I'm just saying, if you don't begin to move progressively and bringing in that type of energy to raise your thought process, brothers are gonna be like, oh, all I do is come to meetings, and all I ever get is somebody who's just gonna open, close, give a brief lecture. That's it. Is this all I get? I'm paying my dues, and this is it. You need to be able, as a jurisdiction, to offer more to your members and just coming to a meeting. Oh, well, we're going to drink a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to eat a little bit. But is that all? Like I said again, you're going to have to be able to offer them more than just that. And if you can't, then they're going to look for it somewhere else. And wherever they find it, it's not going to be about who's legitimate, who's not. That is dying out. It's totally dying out. What it's going to be is, are you teaching me the necessary things I need to know in regards to the craft and the Order of the Eastern Star? Yes, you can travel and you can visit these various jurisdictions. Yes, you can, because we have amenity, we have mutual recognition. Here's where you can go. You can go where you accept it and respect it. Boom. This is being upfront with the new members who's coming in. You're not saying that you can go all over the world. You're not giving them a false narrative. You're giving them the honest truth about who you are. And when you're able to do that, that member that you brought in is going to be dedicated to your organization and what you stand for. And this is why it's important when new members come in, you must give them your mission statement, what you are all about. If you don't have a mission statement for your jurisdiction, if you don't have something that is in concrete and black and white, telling that brother or that sister, this is our mission, this is our expectation of you coming into this organization. If you have none of that, then there's no structure for that purpose, for that person. There's nothing there for him. He's just a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. He's just a member of Freemason. That's all. But there's nothing there for him. You must be able to offer these members that's coming in something tangible that they can apply daily to their lives instead of saying, well, the working tools, the trial, these. No. It's deeper than that. So what is about this particular trial that I get when I become a Master Mason? What is it all about? Oh, it's to spread the cement of brotherly love. Is that to all Masons or just my jurisdiction? And if you tell me it's for all Masons, then this goes beyond my jurisdiction. Oh, but you can't talk to them. What? But you're telling me this trial that I received as a workman, this trial to spread the cement of brotherly love, I can't spread that to nobody else? Or I can't be on the level with my brothers? I can't act on the plumb? I can't do any of that? Oh man, come on. Then why am I here? Why am I with you? If I can't do this with nobody else other than you, why am I here? You have nothing more to offer these members. You don't raise their spiritual level, Oh, well, I can go to church to get that. That's true. You can. You can, and this is the uniqueness of Freemasonry. You don't deny your religion or your faith when you come into Masonry. You actually enhance that. This is what Masonry is supposed to do for you. It's supposed to enhance that very thing. This is why it's hard for me sometimes to accept some of the bigots and racists that I see in Freemasonry. It's hard, Oh, you're a Freemason, but you're a racist and you're a bigot. Let's just be honest. Let's have this honest conversation, because a lot of times most Masons who are in leadership don't want to have that honest conversation. You are willing to accept someone who don't like you, who've told you to your face they don't like you, and say, that's my brother. I don't get that. I'm not quite there yet. It's a growth process for me. Greetings, everybody who's coming on. Tonight, we're talking about the revolution of Freemasonry, of changing the mind thought and watching Freemasonry become more progressive, because it's happening right before your very eyes. We're talking about how Freemasonry is going to change and how it's going to be more online with today's technology. Although the greatest thing about Freemasonry is its process and initiation. Unlike anything else, you're going to have to hold to some traditions in order to grow the craft. And the initiation, the passing and raising is something that you're going to have to hold to. You may have to leave your jurisdiction and go to the brother or sister who wants to be part of the craft or sisterhood and bring them in. They may have to come to you. But the process, the beginning of the process must remain the same. And after that, then it flourishes. Because it doesn't stay the same. It continues to evolve, continue to change. So you may have members that's a part of your jurisdiction that live in Atlanta. They live in Trinidad. They may live in Wisconsin. They may be all over the different continents in the different states, but they're a part of your jurisdiction. This is where it's going. Some may maintain their own jurisdiction, like we don't go outside of Atlanta. We don't have membership other than that which is in Atlanta. That's changing. We don't have membership other than that's which is in Mississippi. That's changing. There's going to be lodges that have lodges in various states, but their jurisdiction is going to be in this particular state. That's going to happen, and that is exactly where we're going. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm watching it unfold, and you are too. You just don't want to admit it. Can you give light on my question? Let me go back to your question, Brother Charles. Well, I've been talking and going. I missed your question there, Brother Charles. Let's see. Uh, I have to go back and check. Am I limited? Am I limited right now? But way beyond on my journey. Brother Charles, I'm going to tell this specifically in regards to your situation because I know you. I know the mere fact of your degree work. I know that you can talk to various Masons on different levels and you can probably blow their mind away. I know you can do that. We have personally had this conversation. However, in your particular jurisdiction, in my own personal opinion, from what I know of you and about you, they are limiting you. That's a fact. You have waited too long, too many years to be where you're at right now. But that's your journey. And me, as a brother to you, I'm going to support you on this journey because when you get to where you want to go through your process, it's going to be unreal when you get there. And you're going to be the revolution for where you're at. I know you are because you are that type of guy. See, from what I know of you and about you, Brother Charles, you're that guy that's going to say, fuck it. What? Oh, no. That guy right there, that's my brother. That, and it's going to be across various jurisdictions and people are going to hate on you for it. I'm just telling you to prepare for the hate that's coming. Plain and simple. You don't have to tell everybody, but I'm just saying it's coming. And for those of you who are on that same level, trust me, it's coming. When you begin to change your mind thought and move in a different direction to really appreciate Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star for what it is, man, people are going to hate on you. Why are you talking to him and why are you talking to her? Because I see them for who they are. I see this person as a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. That's how I see them. I see this brother as a Mason. That's how I see him. He hadn't lied to me yet. He hadn't treated me wrong yet. But yet I'm sitting in the same lodge with some of you who would rather sleep with my wife and call me this and call me that. That's the truth. And you know I'm just saying. You know, Brother Tony Muhammad, please speak on the subject. Which subject is that? The brother is named Imhotep. I read that he started Freemasonry. Yes, yes. I would speak on. I can change. Well, yeah. Let's talk about Imhotep for a minute because of his direction for which he brought. I'm gonna say brought in Freemasonry because you can go to some of the places right now over on the continent and you can see the direct relations between then and now in regards to Freemasonry. You can see the collars on their neck. You can see the Masonic apron or the apron. You can see the rod or what we call a staff. You can see them stepping off on the left foot. You can see them how they're hailing or giving a sign. You can see all of that in direct relations to what we know as Freemasonry today. Yes, you can in regards to Imhotep and the mere fact that he brought in mathematics and science, and he brought in a lot of the medicines that we use today and the transformation. Yes, indeed, there's a direct correlation with that. Now, some would say, no, man, it ain't got nothing to do with that. Yes, it does. You just in denial. You just don't see it. All you got to do is you can put picture by picture, frame by frame, and look at you can look at those statues then and look at what we're doing now as far as signs are concerned in Freemasonry, and that is your first connection. That's a fact. Just like the pyramids are built true north. The pyramids are built true north, but why true north? They're only off by, but it's true north. And where did we set the first candidate? And what do we tell him when we set him there? And why do we tell him that? See, you think, oh, it's a building of King Solomon's temple. So you tell the candidate, well, we're going to sit you over in the northeast corner because there's hardly any light over there. So therefore, you being brought into Freemasonry, you don't know much. So therefore, you know what? You have yet to tap that individual mind. You brought him in, but you had no idea where his thought process was at. This young man that you brought in, he may have read 10 or 15 books before he even joined your lodge. He may be ahead of the various people, the various individuals that you have in those particular stations. That young man that sits in that northeast corner of that lodge may be way beyond them. And when he begins to speak to them, they want to shut him down. Where you get that from? What do you mean where I got it from? I had it before I became a Mason, man. What? So then when he gets there and he's already enlightened, and some of you can't stand the fact that this young man is enlightened, and you want to say, well, he knows too much. Where did he get it from? Look, it ain't like it was when I came in. This stuff is right literally at your fingertips. Manly P. Hall, I just learned about Manly P. Hall just about, what, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? You know, some of you probably knew him way before that. But when you get a hold to individuals like that, when you get a hold to books like that, it's not just limited to Freemasonry. It's not. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you certainly can. This is why I said earlier today when I did a podcast earlier today for about 15, 20 minutes, I said this. Most of you think that you're practicing Scottish Rite Freemason, which is supposed to be from Scottish. That shit isn't from Scottish. That is from France. And before it was Scottish Rite, it was primitive rites. Your boy Albert Pike took that and chopped it up, took some stuff out, and then told you the primitive rites were clandestine. We don't do that stuff. And he incorporated into what we call today Dogs and Magma, his book, which is a good book. But when you become a primitive rite Freemason, when you begin to travel up that esoteric level, you look at this stuff, you're like, that's where that comes from. He got it from here, and he chopped it up. But when you get it esoterically, it takes you on this journey of down those rabbit holes. You be like, oh, okay, I got it. And that is the beauty of Freemasonry. That is the revolution that is taking place. You, the average person, you're probably bringing in now and read probably 3 or 4 books. He or she already knows. So what are you going to offer them? What are you giving your members other than the fact that they're now Masons? So what? So I'm a Mason. What does that mean? What does that come with? Oh, we gave you an apron, set of gloves. You get your decal for your car. Oh yeah, that. Well, but what is that? What does that mean to have this precious lambskin apron that you gave me? This decal, this set of gloves, this ritual. What does all of this mean? Oh, it means you're a Mason. Yeah, and what? Here is where you need to touch the candidate at. Here's where the revolution takes place at. Here's where the change becomes. Because you often say, well, Masonry takes and make good man better man. That's a lie. We don't take a good man and make him a better man. We take that good man and make him a Mason. That's all we do. That's why we want him or her to become a Mason or an Eastern Star, because they've already proven that they can do the work by what you see. They own their own business. They work. They take care of their family. Okay? They make good money. They're doing things in the community. Those are the individuals that we are in search of. Okay, he's a leader. But he has this like, I don't know if I want to touch him or not. But he's a leader. Thus, that's another one we need to go after. So, okay, so he did some things in his youth. He did some things. He went to jail. He served his term. He did his thing. We need him. You know why we need him? He's street smart. He's going to help you change some things. He's a rebel. You need him. See, When we are at peace, nobody thinks about a warrior until it's time to go to fight. You need that young brother. You need him. And I've learned that. I learned that I need these youngsters that are on the street protesting, those who are out front really putting in that footwork. We need them in our lodges and in our chapters, because with them, the revolution that's here, oh man, it's going to be awesome, because you're going to take that zeal that you have, or that zeal that they have, and then you're going to incorporate the knowledge that you have as a Mason, as an Eastern Star, teach them how to bring that thing together and flip it. And when it's flipped and that light comes on, they're going to be like, whoa. They're going to be like, whoa. So you mean I can take this that you gave me and I can actually apply it, whether it be in politics, whether it be in my job, whether it be in my family? You mean I can tangibly take this and apply it? Yes, you can, my brother. Yes, you can, my sister. Now you're giving them something. They're going to want more because you're giving them something that they can actually take, apply. When you just offering them something, they don't know what it is. Get in the car and drive. You're going to have an accident. Hell, you ain't taught them how to drive. What is the R, the D, the N for? What is it for? What is the apron for? The gloves, the ritual, what is it for? You know? But back to the brother in Imhotep, yes, direct, brother, direct. The Lodge of Luxor. Go look up the Lodge of Luxor and see how they went in and plummeted that lodge and took all of the books that they could not longer, that they couldn't carry, and they burned them, and they came back and they said, well, this is what we found. This is what we got. And they flipped it. See, history is, we know this for a fact. History is written by those who win the war. Those who win the war writes history. Plain and simple. This is why it's important for us who are Masons. Your jurisdiction needs to write down their history. How did their starting point, their lineage point, that's their history. Forget everybody else. Forget them. Talking strictly for you and yours. And you build on it. And you offer those new members and those new sisters who are coming into your lodge, your chapter, you offer them something that they can't get nowhere else. And that's how you're going to keep them. Oh, well, we offer the mere fact that we travel. Well, where do you travel to? We offer the mere fact that we are recognized. Who you're recognized by? Well, we offer the fact that we do X, Y, and Z. We have programs. We have things in structure for the family if they need it. These are the things that we have. And I guarantee you, when you have those things, you can offer your members those things. They are not going nowhere. I don't care how big or how small your jurisdiction is. If you got something to tangibly offer your members, they are not going to leave. You mean to tell me, brothers, if I got into a tight situation, you're going to be there with me? Yeah, we're going to be there with you. And here's how we're going to do it. Oh, snap. Really? Yeah. And it happens. And you're not there no more. They're going to look at you like, I got you. So when they come up out of that mess, they're going to be like, I ain't messing with you because you wasn't a man or a woman about your word. But if you stick by them and they are true to who they say they were, and they come up out of that, man, they're going to be like, man, look, this lodge right here, this jurisdiction right here, man, when I got caught up, man, they didn't leave me. They stuck by me. They took care of my family in a way that they assisted and aided them. I'm not saying that you have the capability of paying all their bills and all. I'm not saying that, but you don't leave that brother. You don't leave that family stranded. You go and you find the assistance, the aid, and you do whatever you can for that brother, for that family. When he can't do it or when she can't do it, it speaks volumes about your jurisdiction and the changes that is taking place. See, the revolution won't be televised because the revolution takes place here. That's where it takes place at. William Woods, I accept you in peace. I'm just saying that, brother. Show them the right way, train them up. Oh, for sure. when I'm gonna see, what if Masonry really started in America? What if Masonry really started in America? During what period, what time, and what type of Freemasonry? Because in my travels, I've found Freemasonry to be something that changes. You go to Haiti, you go to Peru, you go right down the 15 miles from where I'm at right now, across the border over into Mexico. It's not like it is in America. Think on that. So what if Freemasons started over in Mexico, South America? Something to think about. I'm just saying. Sincere Descartes, Masonry started in Africa and Egypt. Yeah, that's the continent, and that's for sure. Greetings. How you doing, brothers, sisters of the orders, and brothers of the craft? I'm glad to have you on tonight. We're strictly talking about the revolution of Freemasonry. Brother Tony, isn't it going? I appreciate that, brother Teller. You know, Freemasonry, as we talk about it tonight, in the revolution that is taking place within Freemasonry, you need a safe place. Some of you are like, well, what do you mean you need a safe place? I got about 15 minutes to go. But you need a safe place. And when I say a safe place, that is to say that you who are Masons, who are Eastern Stars, need a place to go to be able to release the negativity and energy that has been that you've been dealing with all week. And I would say this, strictly speaking from my jurisdiction, when I attend Masters Council in my jurisdiction, that's where I go and sit amongst the brothers. And when the Wishful Master says, what's on your trestle board, that is my opportunity to speak about what's happening in my life. And I'm able to express freely my thoughts, knowing that they will be protected within the boundaries of that lodge. That's a safe place. And some of us don't have safe places like that. See, a safe place is where I can go and be legitimately who I am without being judged. Oh, here we go again. There you go. He talking. No, bro. That's my brother. And he's going through it this week. That's my sisters, and she's really having a hard time at home. We need to be there for her. We need to be able to uplift her. We need to be able to say, look, bro, well, what's going on? You gonna be all right? Well, man, I'm just having a hard time, man, dealing with the job and going home. And talk to me. Oh man. All right, okay, well, just get it out, brother. Let me just hear it. I don't have to give you a solution to your issues. I have to be able to listen to what you have to say. And that's a safe place. And again, that just shows you the progression of Freemasonry. Because at once upon a time, I don't know how true it is in anybody else's jurisdiction. I can say, speaking on Freemasonry, it was that safe place for a lot of men. Babe, I'm going to lodge me tonight. Oh, okay, go on. And you know why you was going to lodge meeting. That was your safe place. You wanted to get away from home. You wanted to go and hang out with the boys. You wanted to just be. And the lodge was a place to be, to learn. It was a safe place. I don't know how safe they are anymore for some. That place where you can come and legitimately speak on issues and make changes and make plans. That's what Freemasonry, that's what they was doing in lodges. Do you think politicians and judges and lawyers, when they went to lodge meeting, you think they just went there and just opened and closed? No, come on. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Today they may do it, but once upon a time they didn't do that. That's why prominent people were part of this great society of Freemasons, because they knew when they went to the lodge, they knew the individuals who were there and they needed something to take place or happen. They made deals, they did things there. And you can't say it didn't happen, because it certainly did. Hold on. So those safe places should be your chapter, should be your lodge, where you should go and express and be. You should be able to. I know you think I'm lying. There are lodges. There are Jewish lodges. Period. There's no number Jews in there. There are Jewish Masonic lodges. There are Hispanic lodges, strictly Hispanics. They open in their language. They close. They do work. They do in their language. And if you're visiting, you just going to have to watch. That's a fact. Okay. There are French lodges that do work in French in their language. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with having an all white lodge or an all black lodge or an all Filipino lodge. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. You know why? Because that's a safe place. I don't care what you say. Well, you know what, Brother Hawkins, it's time to integrate. You can keep that. You can have that. Every brother who's a Mason, who understands the craft, must have a safe place. That's where the revolution takes place. It takes place in a safe place to where you can go and express and be and talk about things. Well, we need to actually, this young man, he needs our assistance. The reason he didn't come to lodge meeting tonight is because his car was repossessed, or the reason he couldn't make it to meeting tonight because he needed gas. Can we assist or aid him in some type of way? He's dedicated to the organization. He's proven that. And you want to kick him out because now he can't pay his dues? You want to remove her because now she can't pay her dues? But when she was working and when he was working, they was there faithfully? It's no longer a safe place. It's no longer, it's gone. You remove the very essence of what you're talking about. You removed it. We're not talking about Egypt becoming a state. That Freemasonry was started in Africa and Egypt. Oh, okay. All right. I guess you responded to something else, Brother Teller. Yes, you're absolutely right. They did talk about politics and business in large meetings. Absolutely. Brothers, you can say, I've heard some brothers say, they don't talk about this. You're not supposed to talk about it. Look, in large, when I first came in, I'm talking about in the 80s. I came in the 80s. When I first came in, those individual men that I was with, that's what they talked about because they was involved with the community. My first Worshipful Master was one of the founders of one of the post-American Legions here in San Diego. He was one of the founders. Okay? And how do you think that they came together to come up with the money to fund and open and do what they had to do? In large meetings. Because most of the brothers who were part of the American Legion were Masons, veterans. They were. Plain and simple. When I go into the American Legion, I look on the wall, I see 3 of my past masters, my Worshipful Masters, are on that wall. Then I see some other past masters who were part of other jurisdictions on that wall. Do you not think that they didn't come together and talk about what needed to take place there in meetings? Oh, come on. Stop lying to yourself. I'm just being totally honest with you in regards to the beauty of the Society of Freemasons. Simple. It ain't complicated. Yes, Egypt is a Greek name, and so here's where we at. Oh, just something to talk about. That is true. That may be something we'll have to talk about. Egypt being a Greek name. We all know why it's a Greek name, I hope. Because it was conquered, and he who conquers anything owns it. They name it. You come in, you take my family, you take my home, you can name it. You took it, It ain't complicated. That's what war does. You know, look how small the United States is and look at what it does around the world. It goes in and takes shit and claim it. It's ours. Now do something about it. Y'all know I ain't lying. That's truth. That's real truth. You know. Oh man. Absolutely. Egypt didn't become a state. And if you know anything about that situation, the Rockefellers in the Rockefellers, then there's another group. They backed that whole state thing, and that's how they. What is the middle? Is it Egypt? No, Jerusalem. What was it? Oh no, it wasn't Egypt that became a state. It wasn't Egypt. It wasn't Egypt. Israel. Israel became a state in 1958. Or was it the 40 something? Something like that. Yes, it was Israel. Thank you. You know. But let's continue to talk about for a few minutes before I have to go the revolution of Freemasonry that is taking place before our very eyes. I can tell you this once again. The things that my jurisdiction has plans for the up and coming year is going to be one that is going to really shake the foundation of Freemasonry. Literally, I mean that. When I say shake the foundation, you can be like, these sons are gone. No, they didn't do that. Yes, we did. See, we couldn't do it during the year of the COVID. COVID shut down everything. We couldn't do it. But if everything stayed the way and the course for which we are going as a jurisdiction and those who we are dealing with, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that because of what I know. I'm saying that because of who I've already talked to. Some things are happening. A revolution is coming, and it's gonna really shake up the foundation of Freemasonry. Some are gonna really like yes, and some are gonna be like, God damn, simple, you know, and that's the truth. So look, I'm gonna have to go. I appreciate you coming on. Oh, Amun-Ra, 1947. Thank you. I appreciate that. Politics always working away within the lodge and chapter. Absolutely. You can't deny that. I don't care what nobody say. You cannot deny that, you know, and that's just the truth. Michael White, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Glad to see you up tonight. And I hope and I pray for that brother, Michael White. That brother, man, I'm going to say this. Some of you give me calls and I appreciate it. I really do. And some of you really just, hey, how you doing, brother? I appreciate it. And I can say in regards to brother Michael White that I've never met this boy, I've never met this brother a day in my life. I've never ever personally met him, but I've talked on the phone to him at least once a week, maybe twice a week. And I've gotten to know him through our conversation. And him being a Mason, really, you know, he said, Brother Hawkins, I'm no longer active. No, brother, you may not be active, but to me, you are a Mason. You know, no, you're not active as you once were. I get that. But to me, I accept you for who you are as a Mason. And I can say that publicly. You can go back and watch this over again because I appreciate what you've shown me. You know, some things you've said has really resonated with me. Information you've shared with me has helped me to grow. And I appreciate that. And I'm publicly saying that. I appreciate it. Mo Light 334, peace and blessings. Glad to have you on. Greetings to all. Both of those states new, brother Hawkins. Okay. Hey, his obligation is internal. I mean, yeah, internal. Absolutely. It is. It can never be revoked. His obligation can never be revoked. Absolutely, brother Vincent. I appreciate that. Israel 1947, Egypt 1958. Okay, all right, all right. I didn't know. I did not know about Egypt. I did not. War is a poor celestial to carve out tomorrow. Oh, okay. He quoted some MLK. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on and sharing this moment, this opportunity with me. It really means a lot. Um, and Jamal Jackson, what's going on with you? What's happening with you? Man, I'm just getting ready to log off. I've been on here for about an hour and just wanted to share with those who was on tonight. Our conversation was about the revolution of Freemasonry, the change that is coming in regards to Freemasonry. I know a lot of people like to talk about lineage or like history and all of that, but man, Masonry is changing before your very eyes, and it's taking place up here for a lot of brothers, and it's being missed. It's truly being missed. And before you know it, that lodge that you're in now, that chapter that you're in now, is going to change once the older individuals who are not willing to allow the young brothers and sisters to come up and really grow your organization. I'm not saying that you should just totally blow it up. I'm saying when I say grow your organization, I mean take those customs and apply those customs to the new thing that is happening with the brothers and sisters that are coming in right now, and watch what happens. Watch what happens. That's the truth. So I'm out. I hope that you've enjoyed yourself today. I know I have. It's always a pleasure to come on and be amongst those who enjoy you just as much as I enjoy you. I want to say thank you, Ashe, blessings, Salom, all of the blessings and greetings from the various languages goes out to you. Until we meet again, as always, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. Until we meet again, peace and be well. I'm out. Oh, what? You just getting back from an initiation. The memory work for that is a beast. All right, then. Well, enjoy. And if I can ever be of any assistance, hey, hit me up. I'm out.